Any of the white foods, again, the pasta, the grains, flours, rice, pork, sugar substitutes, they can kind of hit on all those. Reducing foods that cause inflammation, again, preservatives and lunch meat. So the chicken that we get, Sam's has a big package of them, preservative-free, chemical-free, hormone-free chicken breasts, and they're really not that much. And there's this huge package of them, and you know, what I do is I just make like 4 or 5 of them first thing on Sunday, so I have for the rest of the week. Substitute the almond milk, reduce shellfishes. Good fats to eat: crushed flaxseed, fish oils, walnuts. You know, these are all good kind of fats, and obviously you got to get the omega. The olive oils, the extra virgin olive oils. You know, get those in there too. So it's all good as far as those. Change. Now this is one thing that's really interesting. So when I start talking about this, people go, you know, it used to be so much easier. You know, I explain all this stuff to my parents and my mom and dad, especially, you know, my mom will say, you know, we didn't have to do all this stuff when we were older. And I'll say, well, you know, my mom grew up on a farm, and I'm like, she's like, you know, how do I find hormone-free, you know, all this kind of meat? I said, Mom, you know, what kind of meat did you eat? Where'd you get your meat from? A cow that was standing right out there, yeah, out back. I said, did your dad give it any hormones? No. Did he give it antibiotics? Nope. What did it eat? Oh, it just walked around the grass and ate the grass. Guess what you had? No antibiotic, no hormone, grass-fed meat. You know, we talk about water. Everybody's, you know, the bottled water, reverse osmosis. We didn't have to drink reverse osmosis when we were kids. They didn't have all of the medicines that our filtering system cannot filter. You know, all of the kids that are on Ritalin and all these drugs, when they go to the bathroom, it goes right in the toilet, which goes right into our treatments, into water, which our treatment plants cannot get out of. So we're actually drinking that. So, I mean, you guys have seen all the studies and research, hopefully by now, of how many chemicals and drugs are in our water system now. Well, it wasn't in it back then. They didn't have all of those drugs. And foods didn't have the preservatives and chemicals. Portion sizes, a lot smaller. Most of the time you stayed at home. And the portions were a lot smaller. And our lifestyle was obviously a lot more active than we are now. So we also got to start putting that exercise into it. So what do I do? This is an average day for me. My breakfast is 100% whole grain shredded wheat. And, you know, Matt will kind of attest to you that this actually tastes absolutely fantastic. He kind of bribes me. Like when we go to the seminars, like we go to the seminar over the weekend, I'm like, Matt, can you pick me up so we can go to the airport together? And he's like, only if you give me that bowl of cereal. He says that, only if you give me that bowl of cereal, I'll pick you up. But it tastes fantastic. So for breakfast, I'll have whole grain shredded wheat. I'll use about 3/4 almond milk. Obviously, it's pretty expensive, so I use about half to 3/4 almond milk. Then I'll put a little bit of organic milk in. Crushed flaxseed, and then you got the bananas, blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries. And it kind of domes up over the top. You put that first couple, they spill over, you got to load them back in. And then like a morning snack, I'll start to throw some hard-boiled eggs or any other snacks that we have. And that's right about 10:30. And then my lunch, one of my favorite things in the world, good spinach salad, grilled chicken. You can get the dressings with the olive oil as a base. Is not too hard to find nowadays. There's one called shiitake mushroom salad dressing that I love. So I just mix all those. Great lunch. And then my evening snack, I'll make a paleo meal shake or a paleo bar. And then for dinner, I can have pretty much, we do, you know, our dinners at night, you know, one night it's hamburger, one night it's steak, one night it's chicken, one night it's turkey, one night you have the pasta, which is, you know, a half meal, you know, and I'll still eat pizza maybe once every other week maybe, and then fish one time per week. So the main thing I do is I can, if I had 4 great, really detailed, specific meals, I can cheat a little bit on my dinners, but I just do my portion sizes real small and just make sure that the source is really clean. Preparing is obviously a huge key. Plan the meals that you're going to eat for the week. Take the whole week. What are you going to have for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks in between? Make sure you shop for those we'll do it on a Sunday. We'll shop for all those meals, and then I'll prepare them. Like I'll make chicken breast, I'll make the hard-boiled eggs, I'll even make some of the protein shakes then and have them all ready for me. So then when I'm starving and I need something, I just grab the chicken breasts that are already made. Now, on Wednesday, let's say you put down spaghetti. You're not in the mood for spaghetti Wednesday. Guess what you do? You're organized, you're prepared, you already have the food all made, you don't have to cheat. You look at your schedule and say, okay, well, we bought steaks too, let's have steaks that night. And then you just move everything around. So you're already prepared, you're organized, there's never that. What is kind of the most frustrating thing in the world is when you're starving and you ask your wife, well, where do you want to go eat? I don't care. Where do you want to go eat? I don't care. Wherever you want. And it's like, I'm starving, let's just go somewhere and you just eat anything. You know, so as long as you're prepared, you're organized, when it comes to that time, then you can put in whatever you want. And then try to cook at home, obviously, a lot more. So some of the things that people say is, okay, you want me to cut out coffee. Because even though all the studies will say coffee is good for you, they're looking at the coffee bean. Okay, they're not looking at all of the other chemicals and all of the other things that are in it and all of the other bad things. The sludge, can I say that? Yeah, I'll say sludge. So it's the sludge that is in it. So I tell you guys to stop drinking, you know, coffee and all these things that have caffeine. Does anybody notice I have a lot of energy? And I can talk fast and a lot. I don't have any coffee. I don't eat a lot of carbohydrates. I have no artificial stimulants whatsoever in my body at all. So, how do you do it? Cut the carbohydrates. So, wow, how does that make sense? If I need more energy, cut the carbohydrates. Absolutely, because then you don't get the big mad crash. You don't have that insulin flying around. Actually, eating more protein is going to give you more energy. Cut out all the toxins. Your body has a hard time digesting it. It's taking the energy to digest those toxins, and you don't have enough energy to keep your body healthy and moving. Smaller portions, more frequent meals. Again, the larger meals shut you down. And the water. The key for me was water. First thing in the morning, 33 ounces of water. On the way into work, unless what? Unless it snows. If it snows, do not drink 33 ounces of water, because it's going to take you an hour and a half to get in. So that's the key. Brutal. So that was a terrible day. Increased weight training. So you got to get your metabolism going again. You got to increase the weight training, and the best way to increase your metabolism is the burst training, the 30-second maximum intensity burst. That's going to obviously get more muscle mass in you, and it's also going to speed up your metabolism. And then sleep. So if you make sure you're sleeping 6 to 8 hours a week, you do all these things. You do not need coffee. You do not need all the caffeine. You don't need all the artificial stimulants. I absolutely promise you, I am more awake, have more energy than I did, you know, when I was 20, 21 years old. Last thing, I'm just going to tie it all together for you. Make sure you don't forget, the main thing is your nervous system. Number one, your food cannot be digested if the brain cannot get the information through the spinal cord, out the nerves, to connect to your digestive system. So you are literally wasting your time eating healthy, eating all of these things, if your body can't process the food in the first place. Everybody here, I think, is patients. They obviously know you can't have, you should have a nice C-shaped curve, neck, mid-back, low back, looking straight on. Hips should be within 3 to 5 millimeters straight up and down. Now, what we're going to do, and I think I gave you guys a sheet here. Next week, we're going to offer some free evaluations to anybody you know to have the surface EMGs, X-rays done. A couple things I kind of want you guys to keep in mind is, you know, we're on a mission, and our goal here is, I think everybody here, like I said at the beginning, is here because you want to be as healthy as you can possibly be. Is that right? You want to reach your maximum, called your maximum health potential. So what we're doing, you know, they actually had, and we're going to find out more about this over the weekend, they had a study that was done. There's actually over 1,000 studies that have been done linking chiropractic to treating and correcting visceral disorders, heart diseases, and cancer. Now, 6 months ago, I wasn't even allowed to stand up here and tell you that. But what has happened is they've taken all of these studies and articles, and they actually sued the they sued the Medical Association, and they sued them not because of defamation against chiropractic, but what they sued them was not giving patients proper knowledge. So they sued them for not giving patients standard of care. So for example, you go to a doctor, you have kidney problems, and you go to your medical doc does not tell you